We lost a member of our Westchester family very suddenly. Reginald LaFayette, resident of Mount Vernon. He was the commissioner of the Board of Elections, one of the two commissioners. There's a Democratic commissioner and a Republican commissioner, and Reggie served in that position for over a decade and a half. He had been a former city clerk in Mount Vernon, former deputy controller in the city of Mount Vernon, very active in the political life, head of the Democratic Party for over a decade and a half, and critical in so many different areas of both government and in politics.
He just wasn't influential in the political arenas, but even in the community, working with young people, championing women's issues, and doing so much civic work around the county, and we're grateful to that. So to Jahi and to Deidre, we know that you're gonna miss your dad, but we are grateful for the light and the energy he brought to our lives. We will continue to allow his legacy to shine forward in our service. God bless you. We celebrate today the chairman.
I met Reggie when I was thinking of running for state assembly all those years ago, and we went to Molino's, one of his favorite restaurants, if not his most favorite. And I even remember where I sat, and I remember how he gave me advice. In those days I represented a small piece of Mount Vernon, but I was really seeking his advice on a much larger level because Reggie was larger than life, and he had all that information to give.
Reggie was so involved with his community of Mount Vernon, with Westchester County, with New York State, on so many committees. He also made sure that as candidates running for office, that we had the tools that we needed to be able to run a good campaign, and he was there to promote us every way.
He always stood up for what he believed in and for the countless ways in which he was of service. His legacy will remain with us as long as we remember him, share our stories, our funny encounters, our disagreements even, and his work will remain in our collective experiences.
We've lost a great one here in Mount Vernon, we know that, but he's left a legacy. He's a trailblazer, a leader, an innovator, and someone who truly believed in the power of the collective. And most importantly, he believed in lifting as he climbed. You see, when Reggie LaFayette started out, there weren't many people in city and county government that looked like him. But now you can see throughout the city of Mount Vernon, throughout the county of Westchester, diversity is great. And we owe a debt of gratitude in the Democratic Party and, quite frankly, anybody in the Westchester County to Reggie LaFayette for leading boldly, fairly, and unabashedly.
I remember years back, an instance he wisely counseled me on how to approach a rather delicate situation in my community. And I remember after he gave me his advice, he gave a little chuckle. And it went very well. Everyone was content. That was his way. Dignified and gracious, he was deeply respected throughout the county and beyond. His death leaves a significant void, and he will be greatly missed. I miss him.
My friend Reginald LaFayette was a trailblazer in so many ways, in his own career and in fighting for equity, inclusion, and diversity in Democratic candidates. There's not a Democratic official in Westchester County whose career was not positively impacted by the work of Chairman LaFayette.
He was absolutely determined that people of color and women were going to make it to the bench as Democrats. And if it were not for his leadership, our judgeship would look so different today. He pushed and he pushed in a relentless way, but he did it not only because he wanted the judges to be more diverse, because he wanted the litigants, the people who appear in city court, in family court, to see people who look like them, who empathized with them, and who knew their stories. And on that, he was so right and so ahead of his time.
Like everyone, I was shocked and saddened when I learned of Reggie's passing. To his family, friends, and colleagues, and all who knew him, this is a deep personal loss. Reggie was a close friend of mine and a treasured public servant. He was a historic, iconic, and unapologetically proud leader in our county and in our state, an inspiration to those that knew him. Reggie embodied Westchester County politics. A trailblazer in so many ways, Reggie was hardworking, dedicated, passionate, and served us well in the many roles he played. We all owe Reggie a tremendous debt of gratitude for his work on behalf of so many. Reggie's presence is incredibly missed, and he will always be remembered.